Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello. How are you guys doing today?
Good.
I just watched the episode. First thing I would like to hear from you guys is tell us about the world, because it's right off the bat you can tell there's a lot going on.
Yes.
Very big universe, I guess.
But that's, I think, we're kind of going through a time where, we trust audiences enough to be able to deal with complicated backstories. So, I love that about the show. It doesn't sort of pander or sort of, say, by the way, if you weren't paying attention, it really trusts that the audience is smart enough. So,
Right.
Anyway, the world is... Who wants to jump in?
The world is the quad system. There's 4 moons. There's Leith, Westerly, Arkan, and Crash. And each different moon is different politics, but we all work for the company. I'm
And we're rack agents.
But we're rack agents. We are Killjoys, and we are bounty hunters in space. And we have different warrants, and we chase down warrants for money, which is joy. Killjoy,
Right.
for money. And we're different levels. I'm a top level Killjoy, level 5 Duchess, and
I'm not. I'm level 3.
And that's a key point that we're going to see in the first episode.
Yeah, there's some different, I guess, dynamics. Than I think there's some really interesting stuff where in the first episode I don't know. I don't want to give too much away. It's on the internet though, so the first scene it sort of comes across that I might be the leader of this gang, and then obviously things switch really quickly, and we find out that Hannah's character Dutch is in charge, and I think that's really cool. And yeah, Hannah does a great job of being our leader.
And even the first episode right away, you guys all have a lot of action. I get the feeling this whole season might have a lot going on. Did you guys survive it? A lot of bruises? What happened there?
bruises.
Yeah.
I'm actually bruises. No injuries.
I got cut. I remember.
You got
my
cut. Your
forehead.
forehead.
If you pay attention to some later in the episode series,
You might see something.
there's something on the forehead.
There's a gash.
There's a gash. Yeah.
Fun.
No stitches, thankfully.
Did you guys enjoy doing the stunts?
Oh, it's my favorite
for
bit.
sure.
Yeah, I enjoyed it way too much. I think there was a big kind of sparkle in my eye when I was kind of beating someone up. But
Perfect for the character.
but it was kind of perfect for touch. No, it was great. It was really good fun.
So otherwise, I would like you guys to each tell me a little bit about someone else's character.
Oh,
Could you guys do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a little tease.
I'll give you a bit of John. John is he's a guy who can fix things. He's a peacemaker. Highly skilled techie, space tech guy. Space techie.
I'm gonna put that on my resume. Space tech guy.
Incredible. He actually, John gets us out of amazing sticky situations using this, and with the old noodling brain, and then and he has a very, very, very close relationship with Lucy, our 4th Killjoy, our ship. He has a very close relationship with Lucy, but Dutch is slightly jealous about.
Really?
Yeah.
There's some jealousy there.
Yeah, of course.
I know. There's some subtext. Interesting. Who do I? Well, maybe I'll talk about me brother here, Dav. Davin is an incredibly skilled soldier, incredibly loyal. And I think that the really interesting thing about his character is that at the beginning you really see that sort of tough, sarcastic almost, there's definitely a sarcastic sense of humor and stuff to his character, very tough, very, masculine, macho. And I think the really cool stuff that happens throughout the show is that can't give stuff away, but some of the things that happen really break him down, and we get to see another side of his character that's much more, there's a lot more depth to it. And I think it's some of the more, some of the really, really interesting stuff that happens in the show is his, and it happens between these two. There's some really interesting character stuff, emotional stuff that on first appearance, you just don't, that's not what you get. And I think that Luke did it wonderfully, and I think that people are really, really going to respond to those both sides of that character, the very tough, masculine, macho stuff, and then throughout the series, you really start to get to see some other sides and other shades to who he is. So, not to give too much away, but I think it's a very interesting character.
Cool. Oh gosh, this is like family therapy.
I love you, man. I love you,
Dr. Bill. When we're right back, we'll talk about Dutch. I have to talk about Dutch, which is really hard because Dutch, I think, is probably, on the page, one of the most complicated characters. She is our leader, so she's incredibly strong. She's a woman. She's sexy.
Oh my god, really?
Spoilers.
Sexy woman.
No, she's incredibly strong, but I guess what I meant to say is she's incredibly strong, but she does it in a way that doesn't sort of sacrifice her femininity. It's not a sort of strength out of denying femininity, which I think is a really complicated and interesting thing. And then she has a really interesting background. We learn early on that she comes, as her name might suggest, a sort of royal background. Anything weird, we have to stop. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about Dutch.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's kind of, the mood I get right away was kind of gritty. There's some, this isn't like a clean, polished kind of universe. A lot of it seems kind of dusty and,
Yeah.
Did you guys, when you're playing these kind of characters, how much does the grittiness affect the characters as well? Because, I'd say a little at least, yes?
Yeah, for sure. And I think that there's some really, even like the visual stuff, like the sets and stuff sort of sets the tone. Most of the time, our home base is Westerly, which is working class, rough around the edges, and I think that sort of describes us in a lot of ways too. Is we the characters are very intelligent and very capable and can sort of move throughout the different political or social classes here. But at their core, I think they're pretty. You can be pretty down and dirty, and sort of that's where they're comfortable.
Considering we're in space, we're pretty grounded. We're grounded people in space. And it's earthy. We're really connected to the poverty of the quad, and then when we're on missions and we have to go undercover, then we go to the other side of in Crash, and have to experience that, and the earthiness in Westerly that's kind of where it's home.
Hard drinking, hard living.
Hard drinking, hard living.
Yeah. Hard working.
Industrial.
And in a way, we're privileged that we could probably live wherever we want, but I think all of the characters have a real sort of strong sense of justice, so they always kind of go back to these places where people are not...
Save people.
Right.
Raise people up.
And obviously we get a sense from the first episode that there are consequences of breaking some of the rules even in the rack.
The warrant is all. You don't want to break that code.
Right.
The warrant is all, but sometimes characters put you in sticky situations that you have to sacrifice
I'm sorry.
That's what happens when I show up.
Here comes trouble.
And, in terms of this fourth character of the ship, how did that play out across the season playing against a voice, I guess, to some degree?
Well, it was kind of difficult at the start because we didn't know what she was going to sound like. We knew that she was female, but it would be like one of our ADs reading the lines to us. So it was like some dude sort of, reading over here.
Not very,
he's not an actor. So,
you have to really imagine this voice in your head.
So to hear it come to life, with the personality and all that stuff, and seeing that it really works, it's really difficult to just be throwing lines and talking to a ship that's not there, it's sort of difficult till you get into it, but then seeing it all put together, it really works well. It's seamless. So it's kind of, you're a little bit of a sigh of relief, whew, that works.
Yeah.
And she's very funny. The character's very funny.
She's really funny, and what I love is the fact that we have kind of kept with that kind of robotic, professional voice. But it reminds me of 2001: Space Odyssey with Hal. It's so it's so haunting, you know, with Space Odyssey, but with us, it's actually what she says is funny because it's juxtaposing the actual sound, but what she's saying and how she's saying it, it really works. I think it works better than having some kind of crazy voice or something for the character.
An old
A definite sense of humor from the system, you could say.
Yeah,
Looking ahead, what are some of the adventures that we might be able to look forward to? Anything you can hint at for later in the season?
Well, I think I'll speak for myself and say one of the reasons that I sort of motivated me through things was to try to discover a little bit about what is going on inside of my head. So one of the things that my character discovers is, you know, what makes him tick, what happened to him in his military past, and why he is the way he is.
The Dutch, she is on her quest to find answers about her past.
As well.
We're kind of similar.
And I think Johnny's sort of role and what he's got to do this season is try and hold this team together because they're being driven apart, and there are these secrets that he's not really partial to, and it's splitting this team apart, and he has to really try and hold it together or trying to make it work. So that's kind of what, and action and adventure and humor and sexy stuff and all that. There's lots of good stuff.
But you do get a sense of that gluishness from the first episode, even just because of some of the things that happen with the other characters.
Well, he's the connection between these two people. Without these two people, or without Johnny's character, they wouldn't sort of interact. He sort of forces them together.
Might be dead.
So yeah, totally. So I think that there's a responsibility there to be like, let's make this work. And he wants that. Like there is a family element to this dynamic. It's they're really all that the others have. So it's like it's important to keep this together because without that we don't really have much. So.
Well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.